You know, if it's Wednesday, it's all about those three letters on the keyboard that follow each other. JKL. Tonight, we're talking about the mountain. Why is the mountain rumbling? Why is the mountain restless? We got two professors from a think tank and also former MP from Iyala talking about the mountain, Mount Kenya politics.
For years, every Wednesday night in Kenya, televisions across the country lit up with one of the most recognizable voices in African media. A man in a sharp suit, sitting confidently, eyes locked on his guest, asking questions that many feared to ask. His name, Jeff Koinange, and his show, Jeff Koinange Live. It wasn't just another talk show. It was an institution. But today, that institution feels incomplete. Because for weeks now, Jeff himself has been missing, and Kenyans are asking the same question: where is Jeff Koinange? Jeff Koinange is not just a journalist, he is a story in himself. Born on 7th January 1966 in Nairobi, he grew from a curious young boy to a man who will later report for the world's biggest networks. He is the only Kenyan who ever anchored news on CNN International. He worked with Reuters, covering Africa's most difficult stories, from war in Liberia and Sierra Leone to conflicts in Iraq.
This year alone, both flour and fruit exports are expected to exceed over 75,000 tons. That's 2.5 jumbo jet loads.
Sounds crazy. That's exactly what most people thought at the time, but he persevered, and today.
In 1989, the hope is that with the new administration in place, years, maybe decades before life ever returns to normal here in Freetown, Sierra Leone, Jeff Koinange, Reuters Television for SABC.
He built his name on courage, grit, and that unmistakable deep voice. When Jeff finally returned home to Kenya, he carried with him not just experience, but a reputation. On KTN, then K24, and later Citizen TV, Jeff quickly became a household name. And when Jeff Koinange Live launched on Citizen TV in 2017, the show instantly became one of the most watched programs in the country.
Oh
yes, Jacob.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Imagine having Honorable Aiden Duale as an advisor. The fellow has no brain. Keeping hecklers and cheap sycophants as advisors is very expensive.
You know this guy? This is the guy who supplied hot air to National Cereals Board.
He supplied what?
Hot air, no maize, to Cereals Board.
Jacob Juma,
in a serious parliamentary report.
Jeff Koinange Live was more than just television. It was an arena. Every Wednesday, leaders, celebrities, and everyday Kenyans stepped into that arena.
Monica, let's go to the tape. JK Live, and JK Live begins right now. JK.
So, Joseph,
Yeah.
when did you start imitating me?
I started this year, January, yeah.
So you watch every week? You watch?
Every Wednesday and Sunday, yeah.
You watch?
Yeah.
And why? Why me? I mean, what made you say, you know, this?
Politicians came expecting tough questions, and Jeff delivered. His style was unfiltered, bold, sometimes even controversial. But that was the magic. His laugh, his charisma, his iconic phrase, "It is a fact," became part of Kenya's pop culture. Through JK Live, we saw history unfold. Heated debates with Raila Odinga, William Ruto, and others. Tearful confessions from ordinary Kenyans who became heroes, and moments that went viral far beyond our borders. What made Jeff stand out was more than his journalistic skill. It was his personality, his booming laughter, his flamboyant jackets, the way he could soften a tense room with humor, then turn serious with a piercing question. He was both a host and a performer, blending news and entertainment in a way few could match. When he sat across a guest, Kenyans didn't just watch an interview, they watched an experience. That is why, even today, when Ayub Abdikadir and other journalists step in to host JK Live, people notice the difference. Ayub is sharp, talented, and professional, but Jeff's charisma, that is something else.
That how independent are you as the woman rep for Singisho County, for example, to make decisions? That's the question.
What do you mean, what independent to do what?
How independent is Parliament, in your view?
Believe me, there's so many
Parliament is an extremely powerful.
Okay, how independent?
Parliament is a very extremely powerful. Is a very powerful tool that you have. You can raise issues. Like the other day, we know that we had some issues with
Honorable, we're out of time.
We got them
the question
to be
is,
summoned.
how independent are you as a member of that house?
Now Jeff has been absent. For weeks, the man whose name defines the show is nowhere to be seen. Ayub Abdikadir, among others, has been filling in. And while the show continues under the same title, Jeff Koinange Live, the brand feels different. This decision by Citizen TV to keep Jeff's name on air without him present has only sparked more questions. Is Jeff gone for good? Did he part ways with Citizen TV quietly? Or is this simply a long break? Neither Jeff nor the station has offered an explanation, and it is this silence that has fueled a storm of speculation online. On X, on Facebook, and across WhatsApp groups, Kenyans are debating. Some say it is misleading to run Jeff Koinange Live without Jeff. Others argue that it is a mark of respect, an acknowledgement that the show is his legacy. For many, it feels like watching a play without its lead actor. Ayub Abdikadir, though praised for his sharp interviews, is still being compared to Jeff. Some even suggest Ayub may eventually take over as the permanent face of JK Live, but most agree the shoes Jeff left behind are too big to fill easily. Jeff's absence forces us to reflect on his legacy. This is a man who won international recognition, a man who gave Kenyans a platform to speak, a man who shaped the way political talk shows are done in this country. Young journalists looked up to him, learning from his boldness, his confidence, and his ability to command respect on screen. Through awards, international assignments, and decades of experience, Jeff proved that Kenyan journalism could stand on the world stage. He became not just a journalist, but a mentor, a role model, and in many ways, a brand bigger than the networks he worked for. So what happens now? Will Jeff return? If he does, JK Live regains its heartbeat. If he does not, then Citizen TV may have to face the difficult decision of rebranding or redefining the show. Because one thing is clear, the name Jeff Koinange Live cannot stay the same forever without Jeff himself. Behind the silence, Kenyans sense a story. Some whisper about possible health issues. Others suspect contractual or management disagreements. But until Jeff speaks, all we can do is wait. For over 2 decades, Jeff Koinange has been more than just a journalist. He has been a storyteller, a personality, and a symbol of Kenyan broadcasting. His absence from JK Live is not simply about one man missing from a television set. It is about a void in the national conversation. Whether Jeff makes a dramatic comeback or chooses to bow out quietly, one truth will never change. Jeff Koinange has already written his name into the history of African journalism, and that is a fact.
Right now. Tonight.